Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nathan from Gotch SEO, and in this video I'm going to show you how to perform a content audit for a local business. And this local business, which is storytrack.com, is a video production company here in St. Louis. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through the process of performing a content audit for a local business. And my primary tool that I'm going to use is Screaming Frog SEO Spider. And pretty much this is really the only tool you're going to need. And you're also going to need access to Google Analytics, and I highly recommend getting access to Ahrefs as well, because that's going to be a big piece of determining what we're going to do with every single page that we audit. So the first thing you need to do is open up Screaming Frog SEO Spider, make sure you have the URL copied. And then what you want to do is over here on the right hand side under API, and it'll probably look like this initially, go ahead and click on API, and then we're going to actually connect the Google Analytics to Screaming Frog. And this is super important. So let's go ahead and do that. So as you can see here, you'll be able to choose the accounts that you have. And so in this case, we want to do StoryTrack. And we want the segment to be organic traffic, because that's going to be how we determine whether these pages are worth keeping or not. So the next thing you want to do is, depending on whether you're using Majestic or Ahrefs or even Moz, you're going to want to connect whichever one you have. So in this case, I'm going to use Ahrefs. So once you click the gear icon, it's going to take you to this little pop-up window. And what you want to do is just click connect, and then it shows that it's connected and we're good to go. So now at this point, Screaming Frog is going to crawl the entire site, and it's also going to pull all the data from Google Analytics and Ahrefs for every single URL on their website. So once you have prepared the APIs, just go ahead and click start. Okay, so the analysis is complete. And so when it's done, what you can do is you can actually just do a full analysis just from this internal tab, but it's a lot easier if you export, and then you'll be able to get an Excel file. And then you'll be able to actually filter things and be able to sort things a lot easier. Okay, so I'm in the Excel file, and obviously this looks very overwhelming, and a lot of this really isn't important. So what you want to do is, first we want to go ahead and add a filter to this. So just click the filter option. So then what we want to do is we want to delete some columns that are not necessary for the content audit. So in this case, let's just go ahead and look over here, and we're not really going to need the H2 columns, because sure, that can have a very, very small impact, but in most cases it's just going to be unnecessary. So we'll go ahead and delete those columns. So now what we want to do is go ahead and start with the indexability column. And basically what we want to do is we want to see if there are pages that are indexed that shouldn't be indexed, or pages that are not indexed that should be indexed. And so the best way to do that is we'll just go ahead and use this filter, and we'll start with the non-indexable, because usually that's where some issues come into play. So when we look at this, we want to see if any of these pages should be indexed. And so we'll sort this by the indexability status. So looking at this first section here, these are canonicalized URLs, and I'm not entirely sure why that would be the case. It seems that there was kind of a strange thing that happened when they moved to a SSL certificate. So this is something we'd want to look into. So I'd probably highlight this and in like yellow, just so I know that this is something that needs to be looked into. And then we'll continue down here, and it looks like all the tags and categories are no indexed, and that's perfect, because when it comes to a WordPress website, or it comes to a smaller website like this, it's very, very unlikely that there's going to be traffic going to the tags or archive pages or category pages, because these are not pages you're really trying to rank. And in most cases, they're going to cause more issues than actually help you, because they're going to cause duplicate content, and especially on WordPress. So this is actually great. So this is a good thing to see. So we want to keep these no indexed. So then it looks like here, when we look at these redirected options, it appears that these are just the result of the SSL certificate. So these are being redirected to the secure version of the URLs, and that's totally fine. So in this last section here, it looks like these URLs are having some sort of server error. So that can be an indication that the hosting is not doing very well. It doesn't have very good uptime. And so that could be something that you definitely want to look into, because if pages are going down, they're not having solid uptime, that can cause indexing issues. And so you really want to be careful with that, because if they're on a bad host, moving to a good host can sometimes be a good initiative. Although it is a big job to do that, it can be worth it in the long run. So now we're looking at the indexable pages, and we want to see if these pages should even be indexed in the first place. And so what we want to do is sort this by the content section and just see what types of pages or files are being indexed. And so you can see here, these are JavaScript files, and there's some debate on whether these should be indexed or not. I probably wouldn't worry about it too much because it's not going to cause any super harmful issues. But as we go down here, it looks like all their images are indexed, which is good if you're trying to rank an image search. Also looks like their CSS files are indexed. Once again, similar to JavaScript, there's some debate on whether these should be indexed or not. Wouldn't be something I'd be too worried about. And as we scroll down, we get to the text HTML portion, which is really where most of our focus for the content audit is going to be. So what you want to do is actually go back to the top, and we're going to sort it so that we only see that part. So we'll go ahead and just get rid of all these, and we'll only focus on text HTML because these are really the pages that are most important. This is where we're going to do a lot of content pruning. All right, so now this is the super fun part because we get to look at each individual page and determine whether we should keep these pages or we should do something with them if they're not up to the standards that we're looking for. So there are a few things we're going to be looking at. First, we're going to look at the total organic search traffic to each page. We're going to look at the total amount of backlinks going to these pages. And then we're also going to look at the word count for these pages. And so those three things, if you can just look at those three factors, you're going to pretty much be able to determine whether pages should continue to exist or have to be deleted, 404'd, or even redirected. And then also the other big thing we're looking for in a content audit is if there are keyword cannibalization issues. And just looking at this right now, without even scrolling, I can tell there's just a lot of content here, a lot of pages. And so there's a very high probability that there is some keyword cannibalization going on here. And so we will dive deep in this and I'll show you whether that is happening or not. So go ahead and scroll over to the right. And the first thing we want to look at is we want to sort these results by the total amount of visits that they're getting. So we'll go ahead and sort this, and we're going to go ahead and see the pages that are getting virtually no traffic at all. So what I did is I actually hid all the other columns, and I just wanted to focus on the word count, the total Google Analytics sessions, which is in organic search traffic. And we'll actually go ahead and hide these columns as well because we want to see if these pages also have links. Okay, so now we have a nice clean version to go ahead and focus on, and it looks like the API didn't really pull everything from here, but we can go ahead and assume that these pages that it didn't pull probably don't have traffic. So what we want to do is actually we'll go ahead and take out everything that has traffic, and then we're also going to take out everything that doesn't have backlinks. And so now what we're left with are pages, and we'll go ahead and actually sort this by ascending. So here at the top, we have pages that have low word count, probably don't have any organic search traffic, and they don't have any links. And so we have to really look at these pages and determine whether they're worth keeping. And so it looks like in this case that these pages that aren't driving a ton of traffic, they're not really SEO driven pages. They're more focused on sharing the projects that they did. And so in this case, this is probably a content marketing initiative. So I wouldn't mess around with these too much because they're probably not causing too many issues. But we want to go ahead and look at some of the other ones and see if they're worth keeping, or maybe they're just not really relevant. Let's go ahead and look at these. So it looks like we have a page about PTSD and older veterans, which right off the bat is probably not going to be relevant to a video production company. And then we also have something about persistence that might be something that's helpful in general, but it is probably not helpful for a video production company that's trying to drive leads to their video production services. So, and then dream big seems like another kind of self-improvement type of situation. So when we look at these, you can tell after we get past the kind of the content marketing type of pages, we start to see these informational pages. And more than likely, these pages are not very valuable because, first of all, they don't have any traffic, which means they're not ranking well, and they don't have any links, and usually you need links to rank. So the other big piece too is that they don't have big word counts. So this page right here, PTSD and older veterans, only has 300 words on it. So we'll go ahead and look and see what that page looks like, and we'll see if it's relevant. So if you look, this page was written in 2013, and it isn't relevant to what the objective of this website is, because the objective of this website is to drive leads for a video production company, to get leads that are going to buy their video production services. So in this case, this content isn't serving that purpose. And not only is this content not serving the purpose, it doesn't have any calls to action. It's not adding a ton of value, and it's just kind of random. This is a page that would qualify to be probably 404 because there is not going to be a suitable alternative to redirect it to. So in this case, this is a perfect example of a page that should be 404 and deleted. So now let's go through a few others. This one about persistence, 356 words. We'll go ahead and see what that's all about. And it looks like a page that is extremely old, from 2013. It looks like it has some sort of poor formatting, isn't even designed for some reason. And once again, not really super relevant and not going to be something that's going to drive traffic, not going to be something that's going to drive business. So it's going to be something that we're going to want to just get rid of because it doesn't have any of those signals to warrant keeping it. And then let's go to one that has maybe a larger word count. We'll see what that's all about. So this one here is understanding content marketing, adding value. That's what the URL structure is. So we'll see what this is all about. And it looks like the title for 2017 is Understanding Content Marketing, Focus on Adding Value. Now, although this might be slightly helpful, it's not really going to be something that's going to drive a lot of traffic. And if you're not getting traffic to it, it's definitely not going to be driving leads. And so you can tell this content, although it's not designed because maybe the site is unresponsive or something, but you can tell that it's getting slightly better. And so, they're linking out to relevant websites, the content's slightly longer. They're asking for some calls to action here. So there is some more stuff going here, but overall, this is not a piece of content you'd want to keep. This is something you'd want to get rid of and start over and make it far deeper, far better, and far different. If you're trying to rank for content marketing, which is extremely competitive, you would not want to create a post like this because really it's just taking up space on your website. And it, of course, we can see from the data, it's not getting any traffic. So it's not adding any value to the website in any way. So now let's look at this one, which seems to be more relevant, which is video content marketing. Why insist on video content marketing? So maybe the goal was to rank for video content marketing, but we can pretty much assume that they're not ranking because it's not getting traffic. And more importantly, it's too thin to actually be able to rank. And it's not anything unique. It just has, a random stock photo on here, and it's not adding anything new to that particular keyword phrase. And just to prove that this page isn't doing well, we'll go ahead and copy this URL and we'll actually run it through Ahrefs. So now we just ran that URL through Ahrefs, and you can see that it doesn't have any links, it doesn't have any traffic, and it's just not going to be a page that's worth keeping overall. And so the right idea is to target a keyword like this for this particular business, but the execution is not the right way to go about it. And so, we can go and look and see if this particular keyword phrase has anything worth going after. And it does. It's 350 search volume, relatively competitive, but there is some possibility there that you could definitely target that keyword phrase because 350 search volume is not bad for one specific phrase. And you can find plenty of other relevant phrases and increase that total organic search traffic going to it. But if we go and look at, the top competitor who's ranking, we can assume that their content is probably much better than the one we just looked at. And so you can tell this is a well-developed piece of content. It has images, it has a good design. It looks like their explainer video is gone, so that's a bad sign. But then they have one here, they have a lot of images. So it's a pretty good piece of content. Definitely one that can be easily beaten. If you just take a little bit more time, you can definitely beat this because it's very general, but it's still is much better than the one that we just examined. And that's not because, StoryTrack doesn't have the capability of producing content like this. It's just because they're not really executing it the right way. They don't have the right strategies. So those are the types of pages that we want to get rid of because they're honestly dead weight for the website, and they're not going to be helping it from an SEO perspective, and really even from a business perspective, because if a page isn't getting traffic, it's not getting leads and it's not converting to revenue. So therefore, it's not helping from an SEO perspective, and it's most importantly not helping from a business perspective. So you just want to get rid of it. So if we go back and look at these pages, most of these are going to qualify to be just 404 because they don't have any links. So therefore, we're not trying to save some type of link equity. So now what I want to do is I want to show you what to do with pages that actually do have links. And so now we're going to go ahead and take the 0 option off of here, and we're just going to look at the pages that actually have links. So it looks like these pages do have a couple backlinks, and that's great. And what we want to do is we want to see if these pages are worth keeping live. And so we'll go ahead and copy this one, which is B2B marketing video, and then we'll go back to Ahrefs, and we'll see if this page is actually worth keeping. More importantly, we want to see if this page is actually performing for what it's targeting. So we'll go to organic keywords and see if it's doing well. And it looks like, the target keyword phrase for this particular page is B2B marketing video. And as you can tell, that this page is not really designed to rank for that specific keyword phrase. Because if we look at B2B marketing video in the Keyword Explorer, we'll probably see that most pages that are ranking for that are probably more informational in nature. So when we look at this keyword, it looks like it's about 80 search volume. So it could be useful because this could be a really high quality keyword, because the people that are looking for this are probably high quality individuals who are decision makers, probably very high value for this type of company. But when we look at the types of pages that are ranking, you can tell that this is all informational content. It's not content that is like a case study or like a project analysis like this one is. So this is helpful from a content marketing perspective, but you wouldn't want this content to target a phrase like this. You'd want it to be more social proof driven, more results driven, instead of targeting a keyword. The main takeaway here with this particular content audit is that these pages are just not using the right SEO content strategy. And all that it takes is to, first of all, prune all the content that's just holding the website back, develop a strategy to actually go after not only informational keywords, but also transactional keywords, and just clean up the site overall. And the biggest part that you have to do is you can't continue to make the same mistakes over and over. And it just seems that a lot of local businesses, a lot of businesses in general, they continue to keep publishing and publishing and publishing, and then they wonder why they're not getting the results they're looking for. Usually it's because they're publishing too much. And the way to really do well with SEO is to have as little pages as possible and make those pages the absolute best that they can be, and make sure that the search intent for that page is matching the keyword. So in this case with the B2B marketing video, it is a perfect example of a mismatch on search intent. B2B marketing video, Google is clearly showing that it wants informational content for this particular keyword phrase. So that's what you have to give it. And so you do not try to go outside of the box and give a case study when clearly we're showing that this is informational in nature. It doesn't mean that your page should be super generic like this, but it means that it should be informational in nature. And that means that can mean literally anything, but you do not want it to be in this structure. So just understanding how to optimize for search intent can just have such a massive impact on your results. And so that's pretty much all you really need to know about this particular content mod. There's just, to be honest, a lot of these pages are totally worthy of being deleted. I would say 80% should probably just be deleted without even redirecting, and then a small percentage should be redirected. So the last thing I want to cover is keyword cannibalization, and that's basically when two or more pages are targeting the same or very similar keywords. And so in a case like this, I pretty much know that a lot of these pages are going to have to be deleted or redirected, and they're going to be left with very little content assets. And that's because a lot of these pages just are not performing. They're not doing what they're designed to do. And so that alone will take care of a lot of keyword cannibalization issues, but we still want to check for it to make sure that it's not something that's going on. So one of the best ways to do that is actually just to sort by title. And usually right away you can find a lot of pages that are targeting very similar keywords. So we'll go ahead and look through this and see if there's anything that is doing exactly that. So right away I see B2 marketing and social media delivery. I know that this page is definitely not performing well, but it's also because it's a project-based page. And so what I would do is I would change the title of this to be more focused on the result that was achieved with the project, because it's a content marketing piece, not an SEO piece. So we would not want it to be keyword targeted like this. And then we look at this again, B2 marketing video, we already analyzed this one, but these are very, very similar. These would be tackled right away. And then we'll continue going through and see if there's anything else that's worth getting rid of. So it looks like overall, there isn't really any keyword cannibalization issues. It just looks like the overall content strategy is a little off, needs to be refined, needs to be streamlined. And a lot of these pages are going to have to be deleted or redirected. And most importantly, from a content marketing perspective, a lot of these project pages are going to have to change. We're going to have to change the headlines, make them more more results driven, because these are assets that can actually drive leads. And so we don't want them to look like an informational asset. We want them to look like something that's adding social proof, because that's what's going to drive leads. So we want that to be very clear. There needs to be a clear distinction between informational content that's at the top of the funnel and middle of the funnel or bottom of the funnel content that's more designed to convert a website visitor into an actual lead. And so that's all you pretty much need to know about a content audit. This is a very simple one because this website is small. It's just a local business, and there's a lot of opportunity to fix this website and make it a lot leaner and a lot better. And so a content audit for a huge e-commerce website will be far more intricate and complex, but just wanted to show you what this is like for a local business. And in most cases, most local businesses have many pages that do not deserve to continue to exist. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching.